Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show, the podcast. As you can tell, my voice is a little bit wonky right now. I'm getting over a cold, a little bit of a sore throat action, so this is not going to be a long episode. I did not want to go a week without giving you content because I'm a nice fella. I'm a nice guy. But yeah, so my throat is feeling a little funky. I apologize for any sort of weird noises I might make. You guys are used to me yawning though, so it shouldn't fucking make much of a difference here. But there are a couple things I want to talk about before we get into the thickness of today's show. Number one, it was my birthday over the weekend. On Saturday, we had our birthday stream. Sunday, we streamed Pokemon Scarlet. I had a blast. We streamed for like 6, almost 7 hours. I think it was about 6 hours, actually. Thank you guys so much for coming to hang out. I appreciate it. Excuse me. It was nice to play a different game, a change of pace. Really cleared the headspace. MLB is not going away. Don't worry. We'll still be streaming it, but there will be some Pokemon streams here and there. I've been playing Pokemon Scarlet on my own, and then Pokemon Violet, will be the game that we stream together. And I will not touch that game unless it's live on Twitch. So, twitch.tv/kdjTV. Come chill, come play Pokemon. We're nicknaming Pokemon after viewers, subs, gift subbers, raiders, voice crack. Whoever comes through, that's who's getting a nickname. Secondly, before we get into the content, people who come here for MLB The Show and strictly MLB The Show probably won't give a flying fuck about what I'm about to say, but it is important to me and it's my show. So, actually on my birthday, it was announced the day after, but on my birthday, we found out that Jason David Frank, the original Green Power Ranger, White Ranger, Red Ranger, Black Ranger, he's a legend, died by suicide, and he was 49 years old. The details of what happened at the end of his life obviously are scarce. It's known maybe not by anybody but himself. Maybe people close to him know. It's not our place to speculate. But it's important to me. It's weird because it's somebody that I never met. I actually planned. I kind of am still, might not anymore, but in the planning stages of going to a Comic-Con in Richmond in March, in Richmond, Virginia, and he was going to be there. And I have this on a Word document on my computer. I've been planning it. I was going to, pay for the autograph, get a picture, and just tell him thank you. Because that's really what it comes down to, is thank you. Obviously, don't get a chance to do that anymore. And it sucks. And the moral of the story there is don't wait. If there's something you want to do, someone you want to meet, people you want to say thank you to, do it. And if you need help, get it. That's really the moral of the entire story, let alone what I wanted personally. But it's weird that somebody you never met could have such a profound impact on your life. And I know it sounds sappy, and you might not think it's genuine, but I promise you it is. That show, that character, that franchise means a lot to me, even still now as a 30-year-old adult. So many of my childhood memories, or, every Halloween, I was a Power Ranger. I literally have him. I have the Green Ranger tattooed on my left arm. It was a really sad day. It honestly, it really was, and it's shaken me a little bit. My life will continue. It's unfortunate that his will not. He spent his entire life, or a large part of it, being an icon and being important to so many people he never met. Some he did meet, because he was always very gracious with his time and very generous just in general. But what I'm getting at here is, this show is not about that. I just wanted to take a minute or two and just, appreciate and thank him. And, it sucks. It was really rough. Nobody should be dead at 49. Nobody should struggle with mental health the way he apparently was. Some people, maybe don't have as much control as they would like to have over themselves, over their lives. I'm not trying to speak out of turn, by the way. I'm doing my best to, handle it as appropriately as possible. What I'm getting at is get help, check in with your people. We're all in this kind of together. And that's my mental health PSA. But Jason, David, Frank, thank you for everything. This is going to, you guys usually see this helmet in my background. This is going to stay here for streams and content for just a little while. We usually wear it on stream and hit dingers anyway. So, but yeah, I just, I wanted to take a couple minutes there and he's literally the branding of my channel. He's the branding of my Twitch stream, the branding of my YouTube. It means that much to me. And the character means that much to me, and what the show stands for means a lot to me. So, just wanted to get that off my chest. But let's talk MLB The Show, all right? Like I said, this is not going to be a very long episode. I don't think there's a ton of content to really talk about anyway. So we're going to go over the new Switch It Up event. We're going to go over the second Finest program that came out, and we're going to take a look at the calendar. We're at the point in the year where the content is not done necessarily, but it's pretty close, right? It's pretty close. I think we can all agree that it's pretty close to being over. So the Switch It Up event, which is, before we look at the cards, let's look at what it looks like. I haven't been playing a lot of this, by the way, since Pokemon came out on Friday, so I'm a little behind, quote unquote. I'm okay with being behind at this point in the year. I unlocked Mickey Mantle with no problem. If there is another collection, it won't be for a while, so it's fine. In the Switch It Up event, which ends Thursday, December 1st, so you got a while, don't worry. Switch hitters, no shit. So Switch It Up event. 2022 Finest, regular Finest, which includes Retro Finest, postseason cards, and Takashi cards. So a wide swath of options. Max Team 99 overall. It's on All-Star 3 innings, yada, yada, yada. First up at, 15 wins? Sorry, 15 wins is Dave Parker. Dave Parker has a nice swing, but this card is kind of jacked up for this point in the year. It's got really high contact, decent versus righties at 109, 94 against left, won't play. 89 in the field, 99 arm. He's a demon in the field at right field or left field. 74 speed is good. Unless you are absolutely lethal with his swing, which is a distinct possibility. But if you're just so-so with his swing and you're looking for a bench bat, a left-handed hitting bench bat, there's 25 better options probably, maybe even more. That's just spitballing. So Dave Parker, cool card. Wish we got him 2 months ago, but cool card. Juan Marichal, no hitter. Attributes are great. Velo at 76 is a little low, but it's probably accurate. Every other attribute looks good to me, but the problem is slider, four-seam, screwball, curveball, changeup's not going to cut it. Doesn't matter what his control of every pitch is, which happens to be excellent. His pitches, just by how they're coded, a lot of them are going to float. Screwball floats. Curveball floats. Changeup floats. Sometimes primary sliders with that slow of velo float. It's going to be rough to use him. If he had a sinker, maybe you mix him in. If he had a cutter, maybe you mix him in. I don't think he's worth using. But again, if you're a demon with Juan Marichal, go for it. At 25 wins, this card might actually play. Eddie Murray has a beautiful swing. He's very good in the field. He'll max out at 99 at P5. His hitting attributes are pretty balanced across the board as a switch hitter. At P5, 124 contact rate, 117 power rate. We like those numbers. That's very good. Against lefties, it'll be 116 and 120 with nice 115 vision. That's a very nice number. And he's got, that wholly important 125 clutch. Plus 97 durability. Eddie Murray's a fun card. There's a lot of options at first base. Very few that switch hit like Eddie Murray does. So if you're in the market for a new first baseman, you want to try somebody else out. If you had great success, Borat, with Eddie Murray last year. Oh, God, we just quoted Borat and Eddie Murphy right back to back. Eddie Murray's a good option at first base. Am I going to use him? It's a great question. I'm not sure. I've been having success with Vlad Jr. Pete Alonso is very good. There's a lot of options at first base. But Eddie Murray is certainly in the conversation. I think this card is good. I think this card is the best card of the drop, at least of the event drop. It's like a B+ to A- card. It's a good card. I'm not blown away. My balls are still fully intact. But it's not a bad card. It's not a bad card at all. And then if you get all the way to the end here, you'll see some Always Intense, some Takashis, and some Ballin' Out of Controls, which I also pull a lot of golds out of. So they're not much better than Ballin' to Have It. Okay, and now, guys, I'm struggling right now. I'm going to try to finish this up pretty rapidly. My voice is my throat, rather, is killing me. I'm not even in the right program. Here we go. Finest program. So they dropped the second finest program. The last finest program, just as a reminder, gotta find it. Where the fuck was it? Was the last finest program just a regular program? I'm an idiot. I don't know. Whatever. It's fine. I'm sick. This finest program is a fucking grind. Oh my god. I've played... This I actually played for several hours and still only have 56 stars out of 100. It is a fucking grind. But it starts with Evan Phillips, who I think belongs in everybody's bullpen. He's got a nice release, primary slider, which we don't always love, but his slider's pretty good. Sinker, cutter, four-seamer, okay? When it comes to quirks, he has outlier on his sinker. We like that. 125 hit 9, 99 velo, 99 break, 101 BB per 9 with 95 control. Or 100 BB per 9 with 95 control at base. He's a very good card. I've used him in 5.2 innings, all event, because I had to get PXP for him. He's allowed 1 base runner, and he has 6 strikeouts. And if he's doing that on All-Star, just imagine what he's doing on Hall of Fame or higher. It's a very good card. Stephen Kwan finally gave him his finest, and he's pretty fucking good. 98 fielding. He's a fantastic fielder. I think his arm strength should be a tick higher. 84 speed. I could argue that should even be a little bit higher, but it's a fine number. 125 contact rate. 86 power right. He clearly did not have that much power, but because it's the finest card, they juiced it up. He's got a nice little swing, so it'll play. But 116 versus left and 72 versus left ain't good. If you're using this card, it's because you're a Guardians fan. Shout out Chris, friend of the show. 120, it's a very silly finest card. Stephen Kwan deserved a finest card, but it just doesn't fit the meta. His style of play does not fit our meta. Still, not a bad card. It's a silly one, but it's not a bad one. And it makes Guardians fans happy. 99 Will Smith, shout out Dirty Dan, another friend of the show. This guy is insane. Insane. Will Smith has a phenomenal swing. If you know, you know. 88 in the field, 89 arm strength, 74 speed. He's going to mash lefties at 121 and 111. His 101 versus right on contact's a little on the low side. I wish it was higher. But 108 power right that plays up to 113 at P5 is just fine. 112 vision, also a very good number. In the event, I'm hitting 571 with 2 ding-dongs, 3 runs scored. Of course, it's only 7 at-bats, but he's got a nice swing. I'm very comfortable using him. 99, what team will he play for next? Dansby Swanson. He's shortstop primary, obviously, who can play second and third. He's perfect in the field at 99, 83 speed. He also is going to absolutely dick slap lefties with 120 contact and 104 power. Versus right, though, he's also good, 111 contact, 106 power. 89 vision is definitely on the low side. Dansby, in my opinion, is one of those guys you either hit with or you don't. And you're going to be like, well, Kenny, fucking of course. That's what everybody's like. But, like, some guys you just kind of, like, you can skate through and be, like, average with. I don't think that's the case with Dansby. You're either super comfortable with him, like, super locked, or you're a bag of dicks. And I, unfortunately, with Dansby Swanson, am a bag of dicks. I will not be using this card. I don't care what it looks like or how good it is. It might be a phenomenal card. I'm not saying it's bad. It's probably great. A lot of people like it. I, however, just know how I play. I know my style, and this card, for me, is not for me. In all reality, this card's probably a B+, A-. For me, I just won't touch it. If you're a Dansby truther, a Dansby believer, good for you. This is one of those cards or one of those players that's very polarizing. That's what I was looking for. Polarizing in the community just because of you're either good with him or you suck absolute ass with him. Dansby Swanson, in the comments, YouTube. Hi. Like, subscribe. But let me know, where's Dansby Swanson playing next year? What team is he going to be on? Is he going back to the Braves? The Angels need a shortstop. Maybe they decide. I don't think they just got Gio Urshela, but like they have money they like to just spend on players for no fucking reason. There are other teams who need shortstops. Where's Dansby Swanson going? Where's he going? There's more to this program. There are 3 retro finest. 99 retro finest Eric Gagne. 125 hit 9, 125 K9, 99 velo, 99 break. 29 fielding. Very bad. 4-seam Vulcan change, curveball, splitter, slider. Eric Gagne is another one of those guys who's been kind of polarizing as far as usability in this game. Traditionally speaking, Eric Gagne stinks. I think his fastball is pin straight. I think his windup and release point are very easy to pick up. Excuse me. I think they're very easy to pick up. I don't think there's much deception. His splitter and his changeup are pretty similar. His curveball is so slow that even if it fools you from the start, you can readjust. And it breaks a ton, so a lot of guys are going to throw it below the zone for a ball. His slider is about the same speed as the Vulcan change and the splitter. It just has a little more horizontal movement. I think he's pretty easy to pick up. But they made this card better by giving him Outlier. He has Outlier 1 on his four-seamer. He is deserving of it because he used to throw very, very hard. To my knowledge, I could be wrong, he's never actually had Outlier before. So, is this card usable? Yes. Is it in my bullpen? No. Just because of my past experience with Eric Gagne. But there are some people, like my brother, who are very good with Eric Gagne, so maybe this is an upgrade. Again, this is kind of like that Dansby Swanson situation. If you're good with it and you know it, go for it. If you're like me and there's been a history of being burned, don't keep getting burned. Just move on to somebody else. Carlos Delgado, 99. I was so excited for this card, and they let me down just a little bit. So Retro Finest from the year 2000. He's got the sexy Toronto Blue Jays uniforms. Listen, I'm a Yankees fan, and anybody else in the AL East can go play in traffic. But the Blue Jays have had a history of just sexual uniforms. Love the Blue Jays uniforms. But this Carlos Delgado, he's a bench bat versus righties, and that's it. Eddie Murray is a better first base option at this current juncture than Carlos Delgado. 68 in the field, bad. You don't need fielding necessarily at first base, but let's just state the obvious. 68 is bad. He's max versus righties, 125, 125, and he's got a nice swing. However, 121 contact left with only 84 power left is bad. They couldn't have found any way to juice this guy. Even if it's true, I'm sure it was. He hit righties better that year. Let's just fucking make it 100. Make it 121, 100. Make it 116, 100. Like, play with it a little bit. Anything to make him an iota more usable as a starter. In my opinion, this guy should not be starting on your team. There are too many halfway decent lefty starting pitchers that you could run into that would basically render Carlos Delgado into a singles machine. It's up to you. If you rake with his swing, go for it. Who am I to tell you what lineup to make? I'm just offering my opinion, and I'm a little disappointed in this Carlos Delgado card. Finally, the end game card is Gary Carter. I was excited for Gary Carter because I actually found myself loving the 96, the Mets collection, the NL East collection, whichever one he was. I think it was the Mets. 93 in the field with 92 arm, 86 reaction. He's going to be a demon behind the plate. He's got 55 speed as well, which isn't half bad. Destroys lefties to the tune of 120 contact and 122 power with 120 vision. We like that. Unfortunately, he is basically a cardboard cutout against right-handed pitching, at least comparatively speaking to the cards we currently have. He is 103 contact right, 100 power right. If you're comparing him to Will Smith, the new Will Smith that just dropped, I guess technically he's better. But I think I'd still rather use the Will Smith. I think Will Smith's swing is better. Will Smith does offer just a tick more power against righties. And he's faster, Will Smith is, if that matters to you. Will Smith has 74 speed off the rip. I think Gary Carter is a bench catcher if you use someone like Joe Mauer, because Gary Carter can hit the lefty that Joe Mauer cannot, and then he can come in and be a defensive replacement as well. I don't see another path to playing Gary Carter. I don't think he's a starter, unless you hit 600 with that 96 overall. I still think Jorge Posada is better, Jimmy Fox is better, Joe Mauer. Even though Joe Mauer's power versus left is bad, I think at the catcher position, he's better. Will Smith, in my opinion, I'd rather use Will Smith. Whatever you guys prefer. I'm a little disappointed in this Gary Carter card. It's still probably one of the most usable Gary Carters that we've ever had, at least recently. I just was hoping for just a little bit better. Like, if he was same thing he is now against lefties, but like 110, even if he was 110, 100 against righties, don't even change his power versus right. If he was 110 contact versus right, now you got my Jimmy's all jumping. But with the way it's currently constructed, I just don't think he's usable. Or at least supremely usable. let's go take a look at this calendar before we get out of here. This is already a little longer than I wanted to record, but I am more than happy to give you guys some content. Okay. You are getting this on 11/22, when the show shop will have discounted bundles of packs to help complete collections. I don't know if that's just standard packs. It does not say only standard. Maybe they're going to make every pack available. But on Tuesday, November 22nd, approximately noon Pacific Standard Time, that's 3 p.m. Eastern, do the math if you live somewhere else, discounted packs. On Thursday, the Free Fall Bundle. 5 packs and a Thanksgiving bat skin with some profile items. It's probably going to be like a ball and out of control and always intense. Nothing crazy, but it's free, so go get it. On November 29th, a new mini-season, which adds a new Finest player. Okay, that's nice. We can actually play mini-seasons and get a player, so that'll be cool. Hopefully it's a good one. And then on December 1st, the final featured program with tons of rewards, including... So this is probably the forever program. Content's done, basically. So this is essentially the forever program. Once the calendar flips probably to January, that's when you guys are going to get from me, like, more summative content of, best catchers this year, best first baseman this year, or some more looking ahead stuff, like what do we want from 23, maybe some more interviews with some homies. But it looks like we are truly nearing the end of MLB The Show 22. Hashtag thank you. I think a lot of people would agree with me there. But we're also at the end of this podcast because your boy's going to go drink a gallon of water and lube up this pipe. Hey, yo! All right, thank you guys for listening. Again, thank you for hanging out during my birthday stream if you were there. I appreciate you guys. You know who you are. And rest in peace to the legend, Jason David Frank. May the power protect you.